Hello, this is Natasha from Earth Mother Star Child, and I came on today to do a part 2 podcast of our Ascension Symptoms. There was so much to put in the other podcast that I thought we needed to do a part 2, and I have a feeling if I'm covering physical Ascension symptoms, we might even have to do a part 3. So this is talking about our bodily experiences, our mind, body, spirit experiences as we go through the ascension process with Gaia. And what is ascension? I'll explain very briefly, like I did in the other podcast, that ascension is the process of our spiritual awakening that moves us into a higher level of consciousness. At the moment, we are ascending into the 5th dimension with Gaia, our Earth Mother, who is now at a point of her own evolvement. And many of us have come here, indigos, earth angels, starseeds, have come here to help that process and to also experience that for ourselves. So this year has been a Master 11 year of us clearing up old patterns. But during that process, we have also been lightening our frequency. So part of ascension is that we are experiencing a lightening in our vibration. We are inner particles and waves that make up our physical bodies, our physical matter here. We are receiving more light frequencies, more photons into this plane to help us shift out of the older, more denser vibrations and moving into a lighter realm of love and light. So as we go through this process, we do experience it physically on the body because the light is coming through the body, it's coming through the cells, and when lightness and light comes in, it pushes out the shadow, so it pushes out any dark patterns that we no longer need, any dark particles that we have no longer been serving us as we shift into this new consciousness. So the reason I wanted to come on is because I want to relate what I've been experiencing in this process, but also let you know what I experienced with other clients. So I get a lot of empaths, indigos, earth angels, starseeds working with me, and this is what I'm noticing across the board. So I mentioned a few in the other podcast, but I'm going to mention the other ones that I didn't. So one of them is feeling sluggish in the body. So feeling sluggish, I don't know if you have that term in other countries, but in the United Kingdom, if you feel a bit sluggish, I mean, it says it all really. You kind of feel heavy. In Chinese medicine, we would relate it as a bit sort of damp feeling. There's a lot of damp in the UK, but it's like just feeling very heavy in the body, like kind of feeling lethargy or apathy, or like a sack of potatoes, like you just don't want to go anywhere, you don't want to do anything, or your body feels heavy. So anytime you're trying to do something, it's just like you're carrying around this very, very dense carcass that doesn't want to, that feels like it cannot just get up and go and feel alive, vibrant and awake. So feeling sluggish is very much part of this ascension process. And you might feel more sluggish at certain times, like when you're working through quite deep patterns within the body. One way that you can help it is to try and look after your digestive system. So make sure that you are eating light, vibrant foods. One of the problems with feeling sluggish is that often we just are drawn to more carbohydrate-based foods, like heavy foods. So I would recommend, if you are feeling that way, particularly we're going into winter here in England, that to, have soups, have earthy vegetables, root vegetables, which are very in line with this sort of time of year, as a soup, like carrot soup, parsnip soup, sweet potato soup, and just try and balance it, their heaviness, with maybe herbs, using lots of good herbs in that to create less density in the body. So eat light if you can, and move and exercise. That will help any of this sluggishness, because all it really is is showing you that your body vibration is heavier than it should be, and it's pushing out that density. You're experiencing it, and your body is just taking time to process it, and it's showing on your organs and your processing organs, like your digestive organs. So just give yourself time and awareness around that. So another thing that you might experience, another, is feeling very vulnerable or ultra sensitive. I'm noticing that actually, that people are seeming to be very, very sensitive at the moment, like to the point of being too sensitive. Like it's obviously not healthy for them. And I feel what is going on here is, as these light vibrations come in, we're having a reactivation of our light DNA, and particularly our animal cells, our animal DNA, and our light frequencies. And within that, we are having an awakening of awareness and sensitivity of all the parts of our sense organs and our hyper awareness. Like, we're becoming just much more rooted in the body in some ways, and much more connected rather than disconnected from feelings and sensations. So this hypersensitivity is obviously going to have a knock-on effect. So we are living in a time where most of us are bombarded by all sorts of things coming at us. We have mobile phones, screens, we have commutes to and from work, we live in buildings with lots of electricity and geopathic stress, all sorts of things. But also there is this super dynamic, like heightened dynamic at the moment of relationships with people. And what is coming to the surface is how relationships can be karmic, they can be entangled, they can create their own stress. And a lot of us are trying to resolve that and unplug from abusive situations, abusive relationships. And the inner child is coming up for healing. All of this creates symptoms of stress when we have these social dynamics going on. So if you are feeling hypersensitive and you're being triggered by any dynamics, then this is actually a process of asking you to reassure yourselves, to reassure that part of you that needs a sense of security and love, trust, mutual respect, that everything is okay, that you are going through a very normal, natural pattern. And at this time, it is wise to, retreat a little, be your own wise counsel, and, find a safe space, in your life to hang out and enjoy yourself a bit more, like read a book, create things in your life that feel safe, and respect and honour your sensitivity. Because being sensitive is going to be your gift as we move into the fifth dimension. It has actually always been your gift if you are an empath, and as a light worker, most of you are healers and healing vibration. So sensitivity has always been a gift, and it's been your gift to the earth and the earth plane here and now. So you are healing through your ascension process. You are healing yourself, you are healing others, and you are healing the land. So just be aware that all of that processing through your body is a lot to deal with, and you're doing it ever so well. So another thing that I would like to mention here is that many people are releasing trauma. So it feels like this has been going on for a while, like a couple of years, but this year in particular, as the 11 Mastery year, we are, fixing, resolving, absolving, dissolving, all those sorts of things. We are doing that with karma and karmic timelines, and we are reconfiguring on a very deep level. So what is going on as this light frequency comes in to us, and that we're receiving these transmissions regularly now, is that the light comes through the particles in our body, activating into the genes and the DNA into the nervous system, down through all the chakras in the mind, and it's also coming into the cellular memory, where many people have trauma held in the body. Trauma is an incredible subject, and it's one that I have written about that relates back to the creation of the human being here on Earth, and how we have unfortunately been traumatized, and it has caused scars and patterns to create and prevent us from really stepping out into our vibrancy. That's another subject, really. On a very day-to-day level, if you are experiencing PTSD symptoms like shaking or anxiety, or just hyper-awareness, where you are feeling afraid, or sometimes it can be fear, but sometimes it can be terror. And if you're feeling any of those, try and be very gentle with yourself, because we are releasing very deep levels of trauma from in the body. Females are releasing it from the womb as well, so there can be very deep levels of female trauma from female timelines and the oppression of the feminine. So we are doing this collectively, and it can sometimes, you can wonder what the hell's going on, but really it's a deep process that we are all experiencing. Some of us are aware of it and others are not. So men are experiencing this too, I'd like to say, and my view of this is that we both we carry in a physical body, we carry both masculine and feminine, and so men are releasing this from the masculine timelines. I have also been doing this on my masculine timeline, my own processing, and I think that the 11/11/11 Stargate on Remembrance Sunday, we have been releasing a lot of that grief and battle conflict from the masculine timeline, from the Great Wars. So this has been a massive process, interlinked with the release of battle timelines and conflict protocols and conflict mindsets and triggers that we have been mind controlled into for many, 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 many centuries. So this is a very deep process overall as a collective and a collective consciousness, but also you are in your body releasing your own personal past life traumas, this life traumas, planetary traumas, that are all coded on your DNA and held and stored in different parts of the body. I see this so many times in my clinic when I'm doing acupuncture and I'm realigning people and configuring them, helping to align to their star energy and the star family and their physical alignments. The trauma often holds us, keeps us out of alignment, and we are at a time where we are all releasing so we can come into alignment and back into the heart. So there are some amazing people, amazing energy people who are incarnated on Earth now, and if you're listening, I'm sure you're one of them, and releasing these traumas that have particularly happened to the heart space and the mind to keep us out of our own depth of power of consciousness and awareness. This is all changing. So if you are releasing these sort of symptoms and you're experiencing them, you are releasing deep trauma, and I would suggest to keep yourself safe, be peaceful with yourself, drink lots of good clean water that hopefully is energized, work with a crystal, find a way to reconnect into your divine space, because this trauma is not happening now, it's actually leaving. And so all you're doing is cleaning up and cleansing your particles and your body and your energy right now. Okay, I'll leave that with you. If you want to connect with me, you can. I'm on www.earthmotherstarchild.co.uk. If you'd like to work with me, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Okay, blessings to you and keep yourself safe. Namaste.